And welcome back to the final day of camp drafting here at the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. We're about to get things underway with the semi-final of this great Gold Buckle event. I'm going to read through the first dozen or so competitors. We'll have a 7 o'clock sharp start. Our judges look like they're halfway here already, so we're not far off a start. Number 1 in the camp will be Scott Bandy, riding Morangi's Ella's Destiny. 2, Pete Comiskey, Just Jim. 3, Hugh Miles, You'll Ride More Spoonful. 4, Simon Birch, The Braze Pitch. 5 will be Ben Hawke on Johnny. 6, Andrew Sheridan will ride Shero's Best. 7, Troy Palmer, Who's Divine. 8, Greg Charlson, Velvet. 9 will be Lara Garlick on Heirloom. 10, Robert Daly, Mrs. Robinson. 11, Shane Corbold's Tiny. 12 will be Ben Hall on El Torrio. 13 will be Pat Cleaver's Scrabble. 14, Zane Haberman, Cat Swift. 15, Zach Jackson, Peelvale Playgirl. 16, Brett Welsh on Hazelwood Country. 17 will be Murray Wilkinson on A Mega Cat. 18, Trav Bandy, Hazelwood Weapon. 19, Mark Buttsworth on Agile Playgirl. And 20, we'll see Stephen Hart and The Metalist. So a couple more minutes to get our scorers in place and a few things underway before we kick off here with this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Like I said, folks, just a couple of minutes off a start here, waiting for some scorers to get into place, and we will get away with this semi-final of the Gold Buckle. Scotty Bandy's in camp having a look over his cattle. We'll be underway in no time at all. Our scorers will get a little sound check, and we'll be action stations here for the final day of drafting at Willinga Park.
Righto, spectators, competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day here at Willinga Park and the start of the semi-final. So 94 competitors in this particular event. Like I mentioned, you needed 2 full outside scores to get a third run here this morning. So this is the main event. Come on down, have a look. We're just about to get underway. Number 1 will be Scott Bandy with Moranjay Ella's Destiny. Number 2 will be Pete Comiskey with Just Jim. And number 3, Hugh Miles with More Spoonful. 4 will be Simone Birch with the Braze Pitch. So there are your first few competitors. We're just getting underway as we go. Once again, under the watchful eyes of the 3 very astute judges of Mr. Luke Whitehead and Peter Grills and David Grills. So thank you for your time over the past week. Doing a mighty fine job.
Righto, so working on camp now. This is Scott Bandy riding Moranjay Ella's Destiny. Scotty needs no introduction to the Campdraft world. A great competitor that's had many successes. So the program today, folks, is it's a clean slate in this semi-final. The score they take with them from here will hopefully secure them a spot in that great final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle this afternoon. Trying to put one together now, though. This is competitor number 1, Scott Bandy and Moranjay Ella's Destiny. Competitor number 2 moves into the yard, Pete Comiskey and Just Jim. Stand by 3, Hugh Miles, More Spoonful. 4 will be Simon Birch, The Braze Pitch. And 5, Ben Hawke and Johnny. Scotty Bandy, though, he's done his best to start the day right. That's a 4-pointer to get things happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Score will come through.
First competitor number 1, Scott Bandy with Ella's Destiny, scoring 21 for cutout, 61.66 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Scott. Grand total, 86.66. You're watching outside now, number 2, Mr. Pete Comiskey with Just Jim.
And Just Jim is a Soda Justice gelding. Been a consistent open horse with his very capable jockey on board in Pete Comiskey. 2-time winner of this gold buckle. He's looking to try to make it a 3rd time here today. This is Pete Comiskey and Just Jim. How about that? 2 from 2. Score will come through, Pete. Hugh Miles, we turn our attention to you riding More Spoonful. Stand by number 4, Simon Birch and the Braze Pitch.
Competitor number 2, Pete Comiskey with Just Jim, 22.33 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points, grand total 88.66. You're watching inside now. Number 3, Hugh Miles with More Spoonful. Be at the gate, please. Simone Birch, you're number 4 with the Braze Pitch.
And outside's the call for Hugh Miles and Peter and Carolyn Doonan's entry, More Spoonful. This particular mare is by R.S. Chisholm and out of a Playboy Roy mare. She's an open camp drafter, looking to secure herself a spot in the final here this afternoon. And Huey needs no introduction. He's from Dungowan, just outside Tamworth, a horse trainer there. Previous winner of the Champion of Champions at Warwick, the Supergirl at Paradise. He's won the Sydney Royal. He's won 2 times the Cloncurry Stockman's Challenge. So the chap you're watching, he would love to add a Willinga Park gold buckle to his collection. We'll leave that one up to the judges. Score will come through for you, Hugh Miles.
The last competitor, competitor number 3, Hugh Miles with a more spoonful. 22 for cutout, 57.66 for horsework, another 3 course points there, Hugh. Grand total 82.66. You're watching in camp now, number 4, Simone Birch with the Braze Pitch. Waiting at the gate will be number 5, Ben Hawke with Johnny.
On course now, Tallangatta competitor Simone Birch, riding her entry, the Braze Pitch. This is a 10-year-old mare by Jatsbar Adios Acres and out of the Braze Violin. She was purchased through the Landmark Classic sale there in 2014 as a 3-year-old, and Simone's doing her best here to put together a round to qualify for the final this afternoon. Moving into the yard, number 5 will be Ben Hawke and Johnny. Stand by number 6, Andrew Sheridan and Shero's Bess.
Last competitor, Simone Birch. Competitor number 4 with the Braze Pitch. Scored 19.66 for cutout, 59.66 for horsework, another 4 course points. Grand total 83.33. You're watching outside now, competitor number 5, Ben Hawke with Johnny.
Yeah, and looking for a second peg, Johnny is. He's a 14-year-old gelding. He is by Acres Destiny out of a gun mare. We've had a pretty good start to things here. 4 out of 4 scores, and Ben Hawke's going to add the 5th. How about that? It's a pretty good drafting here in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Score will come through for Ben Hawke and Johnny. Andrew Sheridan moves into the yard. Competitor number 6, he's riding Shero's Bess. Stand by 7, Troy Palmer and Who's Divine.
Last competitor, competitor number 5, Ben Hawke with Johnny, scoring 18.33 for cutout, 61.33 for horsework, another 4 course points. Grand total 83.66. You're watching now none other than the competitor number 6, Andrew Sheridan with Shero's Bess.
And we saw Shero and Bess put up a couple of lovely rounds to qualify them here. Shero's Bess is by Bluffdowns Amiga, a young mare in Andrew's string. As they head round that second peg, looking for a gate. This is Andrew Sheridan, riding Shero's Bess. Troy Palmer moves into the yard. Who's Divine, number 7. 8, Stampede, Greg Charlson, and Velvet. Nicely done, Shero. Another score there. That's 6 in a row, folks. We've had a pretty good start to the day.
Last competitor, competitor number 6, Andrew Sheridan with Shero's Bess, scoring 21.66 for cutout, 63 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Shero. Grand total 88.66 points in this semi-final of the Gold Buckle. You're watching inside now, competitor number 7, Troy Palmer with Who's Divine.
Yeah, and this lovely mare's owned by Terry Snow. We once again thank Terry and Jeanette for hosting us here this week. What a wonderful week it has been. I'm sure he's enjoying watching his 13-year-old mare, Who's Top Cat, out of that mare Divine Miss Ray. This is Who's Divine and Troy Palmer. This combination won the 2017 Warwick Gold Cup. Don't forget, folks, I bet you they'd love to add a gold buckle to that collection. Pretty good way to start, Troy. Score will come through for Troy Palmer riding Terry Snow's entry, Who's Divine. We turn our attention to competitor number 8, Greg Charlson. He rides Velvet. Standby 9, Lara Garlick, Casper's Heirloom. 10 will be Robert Daly, Mrs. Robinson. 11, Shane Corbold rides Tiny. 12 will be Ben Hall on El Torrio. And 13, Pat Cleaver and Scrabble.
Well, guys, they just keep coming. Competitor number 7, Troy Palmer with Who's Divine, scoring 22.66 for cutout, 63 for horsework, another 4 course points, a grand total 89.66. In on camp now, number 8, Greg Charlson with Velvet. Lara Garlick, your number 9 with Casper's Heirloom. Be at the gate, please.
And outside's the call for Wagga Wagga competitor Greg Charlson riding his entry Velvet. Velvet is an 11-year-old mare by Smart Oak. She's an open drafter, so she knows her way around a course, as she is showing here as she heads around the second peg in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Some beautiful camp drafting already happened here this morning. This is Greg Charlson, competitor number 8, riding Velvet, looking for a gate. We'll leave that one up to our judges. Score will come through for you, Greg. Lara Garlick, we turn our attention to you, number 9, riding Casper's Heirloom. Stand by 10, Robert Daly and Mrs. Robinson.
Competitor number 8, Greg Charlson with Velvet, scoring 21 for cutout, 58 for horsework, another 3 course points, grand total 82 points. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 9, Lara Garlick with Casper's Heirloom. Be at the gate 10, Robert Daly with Mrs. Robinson.
Lara comes to us from Orange, and Casper's Heirloom is by Seligman Spin, an 11-year-old mare. Unfortunately, though, for Lara, we can only offer a cutout score today of 19 points for cutout. Lara Garlick and Casper's Heirloom. Robert Daly moves into the yard, riding Mrs. Robinson at number 10. Standby 11, Shane Corbold's Tiny. 12 will be Ben Hall, El Torrio. 13, Pat Cleaver, Scrabble. 14, Zane Haberman, Cat Swift. 15, Zach Jackson, Peelvale Playgirl. And 16 will be Brett Welsh on Hazelwood Country. Righto, working on camp now. This is Robert Daly riding Mrs. Robinson. Robert and Cholera Lee came down from Roma to attend the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Mrs. Robinson is a 7-year-old mare by This Cat's Destiny. She's a novice mare. Secured herself a spot in this semi-final and trying to secure herself a spot in the final. This is Robert Daly riding Mrs. Robinson. Shane Corbold, you move into the yard riding Tiny. Standby number 12, Ben Hall and El Torrio. Lovely line of cattle we're chasing here in this semi-final. Beautifully done. A score will come through there for Robert Daly and Mrs. Robinson. Working in camp now. This is competitor number 11, Shane Corbold. Shane rides Tiny. Made the trip down from up in southeast Queensland. But unfortunately, Shane, we can only offer you a cutout score this morning. Shane Corbold and Tiny will have a score for you. Ben Hall, you're where it's at. You're number 12 riding El Torrio. Stand by Pat Cleaver, number 13 on Scrabble. 14 will be Zane Haberman's Cat Swift. And 15, Zach Jackson, Peel Vale Playgirl.
Competitor number 10, Robert Daly, scoring with Mrs. Robinson scoring 21 for cutout, 63.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points, a grand total 88.33. The following competitor, number 11, Shane Corbold with Tiny, unfortunately scoring 20 points, no further points, 20 points. You're watching outside now, number 12, Ben Hall, El Torrio.
And Ben made the trip down from Muttaburra with his lovely mare, By Play Rio. She was the 2014 Canning Downs winner. She won the Champion of Champions in 2017, also the Open Horse of the Year. This mare and the man on her back we don't have enough paper to write down what they have won. And I reckon with the 4-pointer on the board, Ben's very much keen to add a gold buckle to his collection. We'll have a score for Ben Hall and El Torrio here directly. Pat Cleaver, you move into the yard, number 13 on Scrabble. Stand by, 14, Zane Haberman and Cat Swift.
Competitor number 12, Ben Hall with El Torrio, scoring 20.66 for cutout, 63 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Ben. Grand total, 87.66 points. In on camp now, competitor number 13, Pat Cleaver with Scrabble. Number 14, Zane Haberman with Cat Swift. Be at the gate, please.
And Scrabble is a 10-year-old gelding by one more Playboy. Outside for Pat Cleaver and Scrabble. They come to us from Nimitabel in New South Wales. Looking for a second peg here. This is competitor number 13, Pat Cleaver and Scrabble. Zane Haberman, you're in the camp. Number 14.
Last competitor, competitor number 13, Pat Cleaver with a Scrabble, scoring an 18.66. Unfortunately, no further points. In on camp now, competitor number 14, Zane Haberman with Cat Swift. Zach Jackson, you're number 15. You be at the gate with Peel Vale Playgirl, sorry.
And we got to see Zane Haberman and Cat Swift last night in that fantastic shootout, the Dash for Cash in their cutout. Congratulations to Zane and his team of horses. He had 3 entries in that final and certainly gave us all a schooling on how to get them trained. This particular entry is Cat Swift. She is an 11-year-old mare by Cat Skills. She's an open mare, and Zane has made the trip down from Springshaw. I'm sure his lovely wife Terry and beautiful daughter Rosie would be watching on the live stream. This is Zane Haberman riding Cat Swift, competitor number 14 in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. 15, get ready, Zach Jackson, Peel Vale Playgirl. Likewise 16, Brett Welsh and Hazelwood Country. Outside the call, though, is the call for competitor number 14, Zane Haberman and Cat Swift. Beautifully done, Zane. A score will come through for Zane Haberman and Cat Swift. 15, Zach Jackson, you're up, riding Peel Vale Playgirl. 16, stand by Brett Welsh and Hazelwood Country. 17 will be Murray Wilkinson, a Mega Cat.
Competitor number 14, Zane Haberman with Cat Swift, scoring a 22 for the cutout, 62.33 were the horse work. Another 4 course points there, Zane. Grand total 88.33. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 15, Zach Jackson with Hillvale Playgirl. Brett Welsh, you're number 16, you be at the gate, please, with Hazelwood Country.
And on course they are, Peelvale Playgirl and Zach Jackson. This particular mare is an open mare by Millionaire Chick. Was bred and started by Hugh Miles and sold through the Nutrient Classic to Zach Jackson, who is capably piloting her here today, looking to secure their second peg. This is Zach Jackson and Peelvale Playgirl. 16 moves into the yard, please. Brett Welsh, Hazelwood Country. 17, Murray Wilkinson, standby on A Mega Cat. And 18, Trav Bandy on Weapon. Nicely done, Zach. A score will come through for Zach Jackson and Peelvale Playgirl.
Competitor number 15, Zach Jackson with Peelvale Playgirl, scoring 22.33 for the cutout, 62.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Zach. Grand total 88.66. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 16, Brett Welsh with Hazelwood Country. Competitor number 17, Murray Wilkinson, you be at the gate, please, with A Mega Cat. Outside's the call for Bow Desert competitor Brett Welsh, riding Hazelwood Country. Oh, bad luck there, Brett. As long as everyone's all right, which they look to be. Number 17 moves into the yard. Murray Wilkinson riding A Mega Cat. Trav Bandy, please stand by. Hazelwood Weapon. Number 19 will be Mark Buttsworth, Yugelbar Agile Playgirl. 20 will be Stephen Hart, The Metalist. 21, Andrew Turvey will be in on Ruby. And 22, Will Durkin on Durkin's Jewel. Last competitor, competitor number 16, Brett Welsh with Hazelwood Country, scoring a 20.66 for your cutout there, my friend. Unfortunately, no further points. You are now watching competitor number 17, Murray Wilkinson, riding a horse called A Mega Cat. Waiting at the gate, we should have competitor number 18, Travis Bandy, with Hazelwood Weapon. Last competitor, competitor number 17, Murray Wilkinson with A Mega Cat, scoring 19.66 for cutout. In on camp now, you are watching competitor number 18, Travis Bandy with Hazelwood Weapon. Number 19, Mark Buttsworth with Yugelbar Agile Playgirl.
So working in camp now, this is Travis Bandy. He comes to us from Tooma, and on this occasion he is riding Weapon. He's an 8-year-old novice gelding by the great horse in Hazelwood Conman out of a Lethal Lena mare. So on course proper, this is competitor number 18, Travis Bandy, riding Hazelwood Weapon. Into the camp, number 19, Mark Buttsworth, Yugobar, Agile Playgirl. Stand by, number 20, Stephen Hart, the Metalist. 21 will be Andrew Turvey and Ruby. 22, Will Durkin, Durkin's Jewel. 23, we'll see Hugh Miles again on Chick Acres. And 24, Pat Hardwick, Cool Runnins.
Last competitor, competitor number 18, Travis Bandy with Hazelwood Weapon, scoring 15.33 for the cutout, 60 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total of 79.33. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 19, Mark Buttsworth with Yugobar, Agile Playgirl. At the gate, please, 20, Stephen Hart with the Metalist.
And we saw Mark put on a show last night, winning that shootout cutout. He was actually first and third as it unfolded, so congratulations to Mark and his team on that. That was an exceptional display of horsemanship and horse flesh, in fact. On this occasion, Mark rides Yugobar Agile Playgirl. This particular combination came in leading the aggregate. Whilst it is a clean slate, it is nice to know where we were all sitting when we rode in, and I tell you what, he's put another 4-pointer together there, and the score will come through for Mark Buttsworth and Yugobar Agile Playgirl.
Last competitor, competitor number 19, Mark Buttsworth with Yugobar Agile Playgirl, scoring 22.33 for cutout, 62 for horsework, another 4 course points there, grand total 88.33. In on camp now, competitor number 20, please, Stephen Hart with the Metalist. Waiting at the gate, number 21, Andrew Turvey with Ruby.
On course is the call for competitor number 20, Stephen Hart, riding his 6-year-old metallic cat stallion, the Metalist. The Metalist is a novice horse. They're looking for a second peg here in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. This is Stephen Hart and the Metalist. Andrew Turvey moves into the yard, riding Ruby. 22, stand by Will Durkin, Durkin's Jewel. 23, Hugh Miles, Chick Acres. And 24, Pat Hardwick and Cool Runnings. On course though, securing a gate there, that was Stephen Hart and the Medalist. We'll have a score for you shortly, Stephen.
Competitor number 20, Stephen Hart with the Metalist, scoring 20 for the cutout, 60.66 for horsework. Another 4 course points, a grand total of 84.66. In on camp now, competitor number 21, Andrew Turvey with Ruby. Waiting at the gate, please, 22, Will Durkin with Durkin's Jewel.
Working his beast now, this is Andrew Turvey riding Banjo Turvey's entry, Ruby. Ruby is a mare by Acres Destiny, and out of that great Freckle Oak mare, Silver Oak. Andrew is part of the team up there at Juanda Plains. Made the trip down from Wandoan. Unfortunately today though, Turv, we can only offer you a cutout score of 21.66 for Andrew Turvey and Banjo. We'll get to see Andrew a little bit later. He's got another one in this. We move our attention now, though, to competitor number 22, Will Durkin, riding Durkin's Jewel. Stand by 23, Hugh Miles, Chick Acres. Likewise 24, Pat Hardwick, Cool Runnings. 25 will be Wyatt Young, 26 Matt Holtz, and 27 Pete Comiskey and Brittany. Come on, Heidi, be smart, be fast. Outside's the call for Will Durkin and Durkin's Jewel. This particular mare is by Hazelwood Conman and out of a Mount Hope Zorro mare in Durkin's Diamond. She belongs to Will's parents. This combination have had a great amount of success across the two states. She's an open mare, looking to secure a spot here in the final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Like usual, he doesn't miss many. That was Will Durkin, and Durkin's Jewel will have a score for you shortly. Will, Hugh Miles, you're where it's at. Number 23, riding Chick Acres. Pat Hardwick, please stand by. Number 24 on Cool Runnings.
Last competitor, and competitor number 22, Will Durkin, with Durkin's Jewel scoring 22 for cutout, 64 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Will. Grand total of 90 points. 90 points there, current leader. In on camp now, competitor number 23, Hugh Miles with Chick Acres. Waiting at the gate, number 24, Pat Hardwick with Cool Runnings.
On course again, we saw him a little earlier, the gentleman from Dungowan. This is Hugh Miles and Chick Acres. This particular mare is by Millionaire Chick out of Oaks Future. She is a novice mare and is actually a half-sister to that great mare we saw Hugh have a lot of success on in Wishes. Heading around looking for a gate, this is Hugh Miles and Chick Acres. Beautifully done, Hughie. Score will come through for Hugh Miles and Chick Acres. Pat Hardwick, we turn our attention to you, number 24 on Cool Runnings. Stand by 25, Wyatt Young, Liberty Silver Rain. Likewise, 26, Matt Holtz and Paris Reams.
Last competitor, competitor number 23, Hugh Miles with Chick Acres. 22.33 for the cutout, 62.66 for the horsework. Another 4 course points there, Hughie. Grand total, 89 points. Out on camp now, competitor number 24, Pat Hardwick with a horse called Cool Runnings. Wyatt Young, you're next in at number 25 with Liberty Silver Rain.
What are you chasing, mate?
Last competitor, competitor number 24, Pat Hardwick with Cool Running, scoring 20.33 for cutout, 61.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 85.66. In on camp, you're watching competitor number 25. With fresh starter cattle, Wyatt Young with Liberty Silver Rain. Waiting at the gate, number 26, Matt Holtz. Be ready with Paris Reams.
In a bid to make sure that all of our competitors are looked after and get an even shot at this event. We change the cattle every 25. It looks after our cattle and our competitors, so thank you to our backyard men for facilitating that change. This is Wyatt Young, Tamworth competitor, and on this occasion he's riding Liberty Silver Rain. This mare is by Acres Liberty Bow and is an open Campdraft winner, as well as having success winning juniors and juveniles, so a mare for the whole family. This is Wyatt Young and Liberty Silver Rain. I mentioned yesterday that Wyatt actually won that great World Championship Campdraft there at the Sydney Royal Show this year. A huge achievement. Just one of the many accolades on his list. He won the Open up there last weekend at the Toowoomba Supreme Sale. He won both the Challenge and the Classic in the same year at Nutrien, a feat that's not been repeated yet. So this is Wyatt Young riding Liberty Silver Rain. Competitor number 25. Matt Holtz moves into the yard. Number 26, standby 27, Pete Comiskey and Brittany. Ben Rossiter, you'll ride at 28 on Yarrawa Guns and Roses. Sarah Cookson will be back on Paradise at 29. 30, we'll see Louise Comiskey, Savvy Dancing Cat. But Wyatt Young just made it look very easy out there. We'll have a score for you shortly, Wyatt. Wyatt Young and Liberty Silver Rain.
Competitor number 25, Wyatt Young with the Liberty Silver Rain, scoring a 22 for the cutout, 62.66 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Wyatt. Grand total, 88.66 points. In on camp, you're watching competitor number 26, Matt Holtz, with a horse called Paris Reams. Pete Comiskey, you be ready with 27 and Brittany.
And outside's the call for Paris Reams, a 10-year-old open gelding by Acres Destiny out of a Warren Breyer Mega Mare. This particular entry is owned by Glenn Stevenson, capably piloted here today by Matt Holtz. This is number 26, Matt Holtz and Paris Reams. Another 4-pointer on the board. A score will come through for Matt Holtz and Paris Reams. Pete Comiskey, we move our attention to you, number 27, and Brittany. Stand by 28, Ben Rossiter, Yarrawa Guns and Roses. Likewise, number 30, Sarah Cookson and the Good Paradise.
Competitor number 26, Matt Holtz with Paris Reams, 22.33 for the cutout, 62.66 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Matt. Grand total, 89 points. In on camp now, number 27, Peter Comiskey with Brittany. Number 28 will be Ben Rossiter with Yarrawa Guns and Roses. At the gate, please.
And I've got to say, this mare is one of my favourites. This is Brittany, a 15-year-old mare out of the Great Mare Ronies Checks by Hazelwood Conman. This mare already has a gold buckle in her trophy collection. Pete and her have secured this event before. Gee, I reckon he'd like to do it again, though. Paris was the other mare he won on, who is a half-sister to Brittany. That's how talented that family is. The operator in the saddle is pretty capable too. He's won a stack of ACA Open Rider titles and every major event you can win. Pete Comiskey comes to us from Nebo, up in Queensland, and on this occasion he rides his entry, Brittany. Ben Rossiter, you move into the camp, number 28 on Yarrawa Guns and Roses. Stand by 29, Sarah Cookson, Paradise. 30 will be Louise Comiskey, Savvy Dancing Cat, and 31, Toby Rofe on Holly. Nicely done, Pete. We'll have a score for Pete Comiskey and Brittany.
Competitor number 27, Pete Comiskey with Brittany, scoring 21 for the cutout, 58 fast points there for horsework, another 4 course points. Grand total, 83 points for Pete Comiskey. In on camp, Ben Rossiter at 28. Unfortunately, that wasn't the mark he was trying to leave. Ben Rossiter goes out with no points. Bad luck there, Ben, with Guns N' Roses. When the camp's clear, we need 29, Sarah Cookson with Paradise.
Cattle out, cattle in. We look to competitor number 29, Sarah Cookson, riding Paradise. Sarah now calls the Willinga Park location her home. Previously a good Doombandy girl. She rides on this occasion PJ Cookson's entry, Paradise. This lovely mare is by Conman, and out of a fantastic mare the whole family campaigned called Cruise. Cooko knows where the points are. They're up the front there. That's Sarah Cookson, number 29, riding Paradise. Louise Comiskey, stand by, please, on Savvy Dancing Cat. 31 will be Toby Rose Holly. Megan McIntosh, you'll ride at 32 on Carrigan's Fitz. 33, Josh Gibson, stand by on Pickles. I tell you what, she's tightened up a second peg there. This is Sarah Cookson. We saw this combination as part of that winning State of Origin team last year, and I reckon we might see them again a little bit later today in the State of Origin, and I reckon Cooko was aiming to get herself a spot in that final. Let's see how you go. We'll have a score from our 3 judges for Sarah Cookson and Paradise.
Competitor number 29, Sarah Cookson with Paradise, scoring 21.33 for cutout, 64 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Sarah. Grand total, 89.33 points. In on camp now, we should have competitor number 30, Louise Comiskey with Savvy Dancing Cat. Waiting at the gate, please, 31, Toby Roth with Holly.
Bad luck there, Louis. That was Louise Comiskey and Savvy Dancing Cat. Unfortunately, we can only offer them a camp score today of 21 points in this semi-final. Big thanks to Steve and Louis for making the trip down from Capella up there in Queensland. I guarantee you we'll see a fair bit more of that combination yet. Toby Rofe moves into the camp, competitor number 31. Megan McIntosh, please stand by. Likewise, 33, Josh Gibson, Pickles. 34 will be Matt Beaches on Rain. And 35 will be Tom Williamson, See Me Metallic. On course, we watch Sutton Forest competitor Toby Rofe. Toby is riding Holly. This particular entry is by Heatwave, an Acres Destiny horse we saw a lot of. Following Toby, Megan McIntosh, please stand by. Likewise, 33, Josh Gibson and Pickles. Beautifully done there by Toby Rofe and Holly. A score will come through for you, Toby. Megan McIntosh, you're where it's at now on Goldie. Standby 33, Josh Gibson, Pickles. 34, Matt Beaches, Rain. 35, Tom Williamson, See Me, Metallic. 36, Josh Barnett, Moonlight. And 37 will see Brett Welsh back again on Estal West, Red Acres.
Competitor number 31, Toby Roth, with Holly scoring 21 for cutout, 60.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 85.33. In on camp now, Megan McIntosh is competitor number 32 with Carrigan's Bits.
And we saw this combination run third there last night in the Ladies Dash for Cash. Megan comes to us from Warra in Queensland. On this occasion, she rides her Seligman Spin mare. This particular mare is out of an Eden Hope Sam mare, and a mare Megan thinks a lot of. Only a young mare. Not to be today, Megs. We can give you a cutout score of 20.33. 20.33 there for Megan McIntosh and Carrigan's Fitz.
Competitor number 33, Josh Gibson with Pickles. A big thank you to Josh as well, the representative here for Foresight products, so the Foresight veterinary products. Like we mentioned there, you've only got to go around and scan those QR codes to go in the draw to win 2 years' supply. So a big thank you to Josh. Better number 33, Josh Gibson with Pickles, scoring at 21 points, 21 there for the cutout, Josh. In on camp now, we should have competitor number 34, Matt Beaches with Rain. Tom Williamson, you are competitor number 35 with See Me Metallic, and Josh Barnett is 36 with Moonlight.
Outside's the call for competitor number 34, Matt Beaches, riding Rain. If you've just joined us, this is the Willinga Park Gold Buckle semi-final. What the competitors had to do to qualify for this semi-final was get 2 scores in round 1 and round 2. We then have a clean slate. The semi-final will qualify you for the final this afternoon, broadcast loud and proud. Nicely done, Matt. Matt Beaches has done what he can. He's just put a 4-pointer up. We'll have a score shortly for you. Our attention will turn to competitor number 35, Tom Williamson, riding See Me Metallic. 36, Josh Barnett, stand by on Moonlight.
Competitor number 34, Matt Beaches with Rain, scoring 20 for the cutout, a 62.33 weather horsework, another 4 course points, a grand total 86.33 points. In on camp now, you are watching competitor number 35, Tom Williamson, with a horse called See Me Metallic. Josh Barnett, you be ready with 36 and Moonlight. Unfortunately, Tom Williamson with See Me Metallic goes out with a 16 points. When the camp is right, we have Josh Barnett at competitor number 36 with Moonlight. Brett Welsh, you be ready at competitor number 37 with Estal West Red Acres.
Yeah, Singleton competitor we watched, Josh Barnett, riding Moonlight. a 10-year-old stallion by Acres Destiny, owned by Mick Alchin. On course proper, this is competitor number 36, Josh Barnett and Moonlight. Josh actually was second in the Willinga Park Gold Buckle in 2019. He's been the ABCRA's most successful rider, and he was second place at Sydney Show in 2021. So this is a guy who knows his way around the course. He's perched up here on the 10-year-old Acres Stallion. He's a novice horse and owned by Mick Alchin, looking to cross over and secure a gate for Josh Barnett and Moonlight. That's why the judges are there. We'll leave that bit up to them. That's number 36, Josh Barnett and Moonlight. Brett Welsh moves into the yard. Number 37 on Esdale West Red Acres. Stand by at 38, Ben Hall, Cosmo. 39 will be Philip Collins, Bob Jane. Troy Palmer will see you at 40 on Binia Sniper. And 41, Bruce McNaughton, Little Acre.
Last competitor, competitor number 36, Josh Barnett with Moonlight, scoring 22 for cutout, 57.66 for horsework, another 3 course points, grand total 82.66. You're watching inside, selecting the beast, competitor number 37, Brett Welsh with Esdale West Red Acres. Cosmo and Ben Hall, you be at the gate, please, at competitor number 38. And just a reminder, guys, the foresight stand over to the right of the box. The foresight stand, the grandstand, that is for competitors and spectators. So competitors and families, you're more than welcome to come over to the foresight stand there throughout the day. So that particular stand over there, competitors, spectators, you do not need a ticket for that stand, so you can come over there, bring your family. It is BYO over in that stand, in the foresight stand. Competitor number 37, Brett Welsh with Esdale West Red Acres. Scoring 18 points there, mate. 18 points for the cutout. In on camp now, competitor number 38, Ben Hall. Riding Cosmo. 39, Philip Collins with Bob Jane. Please be at the gate.
Ben Hall we watch. We saw Ben put one around earlier in this semi-final. On this occasion, he rides Cosmo, a Conman mare out of that great 77 Revenge mare in Santa Girl. Ben's made the trip down. A crew of them came from the proper north. He came from Muttaburra in Queensland, in fact. This is Ben Hall and his entry, Cosmo. Stand by. Competitor number 39, Philip Collins on Bob Jane. 40 will be Troy Palmer, Binia Sniper, and 41, Bruce McNaughton, Little Acre. On course proper, though, for Cosmo and Ben Hall. Magnificent first peg for Ben and Cosmo. Changing over, looking for a second. No, that wasn't part of the plan, Ben. 39 will look for competitor number 39, Philip Collins, and Bob Jane will have a cutout score for Ben Hall and Cosmo.
Competitor number 38, Ben Hall and Cosmo, scoring a 15.33 there for the cutout. In on camp now, competitor number 39, Philip Collins with Bob Jane. Waiting at the gate, competitor number 40, Troy Palmer with Binia Sniper.
Outside for Bombala competitor Philip Collins, riding Bob Jane. This particular mare is by C.D. Olena's Dooley. Not the plan, Philip. Unfortunately, just a cutout score for Philip Collins and Bob Jane of 21 points. 21 points for you there, Philip. Troy Palmer moves into the yard. Competitor number 40, he rides Binia Sniper. 41, Bruce McNaughton, stand by on Little Acre. 42 will be Mark Buttsworth, 1 Stylish Madonna. 43, Hugh Miles rides Spins Gypsy Rose. 44, Lucas Roberts, Rusky. 45, Dan Lindley, Yaven More Chrome. 46 will be David Thorne on She's a Stylish Cat. And 47 will be Kylie Malone, on Jackpot. In camp now, though, this is Troy Palmer riding Binia Sniper. Sniper is by the great horse in the Ranch Abbey's Top Gun and out of Binia Actress. He's an open horse, has placed in many drafts across the country. Binia, Sniper and Troy Palmer. And a 4-pointer for Troy Palmer and Binia Sniper. A score will come through for you, Troy. We move our attention to Tamworth competitor Bruce McNaughton riding Little Acre. Bruce will be followed by 42, Mark Buttsworth, 1 Stylish Madonna. Stand by 43, Hugh Miles and Spins Gypsy Rose. Working in camp now, this is Bruce McNaughton riding Little Acre, competitor number 41. Little Acre is an Acres Destiny mare owned by Bruce and Julie McNaughton from Tamworth. Unfortunately though, Brucey, it's not to be today. We will have a yard score for Bruce McNaughton of 22. 22 points is all we can give you today, Bruce. 42, we move our attention to Mark Buttsworth, 1 Stylish Madonna, stand by. 43, Hugh Miles, Spins Gypsy Rose.
Competitor number 40, Troy Palmer with Binia Sniper. Scoring 14.66 for cutout, 58 for horsework, another 4 course points, a total of 76.66. Moving right along, competitor number 42, Mark Buttsworth on the camp with 1 Stylish Madonna. Hugh Miles, you're at the gate, please. Competitor number 43 with Spins Gypsy Rose.
Negotiating a second peg, we are watching Mark Buttsworth on 1 Stylish Madonna. We've already seen him go around once this morning, and he's done it again. A score will come through for you there, Butsy. 1 Stylish Madonna and Mark Buttsworth, competitor number 42. Hugh Miles moves into the yard on Spins Gypsy Rose. Stand by 44, Lucas Roberts, Rusky. 45 will be Dan Lindley, Yaven More Chrome. And 46, David Thorne, She's a Stylish Cat.
Competitor number 42, Mark Buttsworth with 1 Stylish Madonna, 20.33 for cutout, 58.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 82.66. In on camp now, competitor number 43, Hugh Miles with Spins Gypsy Rose. Lucas Roberts with Rusky, your number 44, you be at the gate, please.
Hugh Miles rides number 43, spins Gypsy Rose, owned by Barry and Sally Smith. This is Hugh's third entry in this semi-final. Stand by 44, Lucas Roberts on Rusky. Likewise 45, Dan Lindley, Yavin Moorchrome. 46 will be David Thorne. 47, Kylie Malone. 48 will be Pete Comiskey. And 49, Zane Haberman. In camp, though, we are watching competitor number 43, Hugh Miles, riding Spins Gypsy Rose. This mare is by Spins Image out of a Playboy Roy mare. Previous career in the cutting pen before converting and coming over and doing the camp drafting thing. Another score will come through for Hugh Miles and Spins Gypsy Rose. Thanks, Hughie. 44 will be Lucas Roberts Rusky. Lucas is on camp. Stand by 45, Dan Lindley, Yavin Moorchrome.
58 and 3.
Better number 43, Hugh Miles with Spins Gypsy Rose, scoring 15 for the cutout, 57.66 for the horsework. Another 3 course points there, Hugh. Grand total of 75.66. And on camp, we're watching 44, Lucas Roberts with Rusky. 45, Dan Lindley beat the gate with Yavin Moorchrome. Better number 44, Lucas Roberts with Rusky, scoring a 15.33 for cutouts. Unfortunately, no further points. In on camp, number 45, Dan Lindley with Yavin Moorchrome. Dave Thorne, you be ready at number 46 with She's a Stylish Cat. Kylie Malone, don't be far away with 47 and Jackpot.
And Dan Lindley comes to us from Gundagai. On this occasion, he rides his entry, Yavin Moorchrome. A 9-year-old gelding by One More Playboy out of Hazelwood Fancy Romance. This horse is placed in Opens, Novices, Juniors and Juveniles, so a horse for the whole family. Outside's the call for Dan Lindley. Competitor number 45 on Yavin Moorchrome. David Thorne will look for you. Number 46 on She's a Stylish Cat. You'll be next. 47, Kylie Malone, stand by on Jackpot. 48 will be Pete Comiskey, Duck and Down. 49, Zane Haberman's Memphis. And 50, Lockie Sim on Frappe.
Competitor number 45, Dan Lindley with Yavin Moorchrome, scoring 17 points for cutout. In on camp now. Competitor number 46, David Thorne. She's a Stylish Cat. Kylie Malone, you're number 47. You be at the gate with Jackpot.
Compared to number 46, David Thorne's looking over his cattle. Dave's riding She's a Stylish Cat. This entry is a 7-year-old mare. She's placed in maidens. David joins us from Wallenbean. He secured a spot here in this semi-final, riding She's a Stylish Cat. Looking to build a score and get a spot there in the main arena this afternoon in this final of the Wallinga Park Gold Buckle. Unfortunately there for David Thorne and She's a Stylish Cat. They go out with a no score. They earned their spot here in this semi-final, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely combination. We'll see them again, there's no doubt about that. That was David Thorne and She's a Stylish Cat. Big thanks to the boys in the backyard. They quickly removed that Wallinga Park steer from the yard. And we'll move our attention to competitor number 47. Kylie Malone riding Jackpot. Kylie will be followed by 48, Pete Comiskey, Duck and Down. Stand by 49, Zane Haberman, Memphis, and 50, Lockie Sim, Frappe. We'll see Stevie Comiskey on Katie at 51. 52 will be Andrew Turvey's Request. 53, Michael Otten on Barracuda. And 54 will be Peter Bolton, Reflex. For now, though, the lady of the moment is number 47, Kylie Malone, riding Jackpot. Jackpot is owned by Harry Lanark and is by Hazelwood Conman.
Last competitor number 47, Kylie Malone with Jackpot, scoring at 20 points, 20 there for the cutout. Unfortunately, no further points. In on camp, competitor number 48, Pete Comiskey, riding Duck and Down. Waiting at the gate, number 49, Zane Haberman with Memphis.
Up the front's where it's at for number 48, Pete Comiskey riding Duck and Down. Duck and Down is a stallion by by Playboy Roy, rather, sorry, and has come second in most of the major events. So they are really keen to turn this one into a blue. This is Pete Comiskey and his entry, Duck and Down. 49, stand by, Zane Haberman on Memphis. Likewise 50, Lockie Sim, Frappe, and 51, Steve Comiskey, Katie. And unfortunately, it's a no score for Pete Comiskey and Duck and Down. A wonderful sport of camp drafting. We can have 2 scores to get us into this qualifier, but it's just how the cattle fall on the day. Unfortunately, this time, it was no joy for Pete Comiskey and Duck and Down. The boys will clear that beast from the yard, and we'll look for competitor number 49, Zane Haberman and Memphis. Stand by 50, Lockie Sim and Frappe. 51 will be Steve Comiskey riding Katie. 52, Andrew Turvey, Request. 53, Mick Otten on Barracuda. 54, Peter Bolton on Reflex. 55, Darren Brisland Roy. And 56 will be Ben Walsh on Hollywood CD. In camp now, though, once we sort a few cattle out, this will be competitor number 49 from Springshaw, Zane Haberman riding Kerry Thompson's entry, Memphis. Righto, judges give the nod to competitor number 49, Zane Haberman, riding Memphis. Memphis is a 15-year-old open mare by Bunara Mentor and is owned by Zane's partner, Kerry Thompson. A lovely mare that's a winner of 3 opens and multiple ladies. On course proper, this is Springshaw competitor, Zane Haberman, riding Memphis. Next into the yard, number 50, Lockie Sim, you will be on Frappe. Stand by 51, Steve Comiskey and Katie.
Competitor number 49, Zane Haberman with Memphis, scoring 21.66 points there for cutout. 21.66. And on camp now, we have competitor number 50, Lockie Sim with Frappe. Steve Comiskey, your competitor number 51, you be ready with Katie.
Lockie Sim we watch, competitor number 50, he is riding Frappe, made the trip from Holbrook. Frappe is a novice gelding owned by Nat Weston. He's by a thoroughbred colt called General Maximus. Been a lot of fun and having a lot of success, including finaling in the ladies there at Holbrook Campdraft only the other weekend. This is competitor number 50, Lockie Sim and Frappe. Steve Comiskey moves into the yard. He'll receive some fresh cattle. He rides Katie. Andrew Turvey stand by, number 52 on request. Likewise, 53, Mick Otten and Mumbala Barracuda. Outside, though, looking to secure a gate, this is competitor number 50, Lockie Sim, riding Frappe.
No side on ones. Got to be straight on, mate. Otherwise, you know.
Competitor number 50, Lockie Sim with Frappe, scoring 19 for the cutout, 61 for horsework. 4 course points, put it together, get an 84 points. In on camp, we have competitor number 51, Steve Comiskey with Katie. 52, Andrew Turvey, you be at the gate with request.
So stepping into his lovely Willinga Park steer now is competitor number 51, Steve Comiskey. He rides Katie. Katie is a 15-year-old mare by Two-Eyed Macho out of a One Smart Little Buzzard mare. This particular combo won the first round of this Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Katie also won the Paradise Open this year, and last weekend I watched her run off the Open there at the great fundraiser at Wandoan. This is Stevie Comiskey. He's a 2-time Warwick Gold Cup winner and got a trophy room that he nearly needs to get an extension on. Stevie Comiskey made the trip down with his lovely wife Louise. They came from Capella, and that's why, because they like putting cattle through the gate. That's a score will come through for Steve Comiskey and Katie. Andrew Turvey moves into the yard, competitor number 52 on request. Stand by 53, Mick Otten on Barracuda.
Last competitor, competitor number 51, Steve Comiskey with Katie scoring a 22 for cutout, 63.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 89.33 points. In on camp now, competitor number 52, Andrew Turvey with Request. Mick Otten, your number 53, you be at the gate with Mambula Barracuda.
Outside's the call for Andrew Turvey and Request. Request is an 18-year-old mare. That is not what we wanted to see there this morning, Turv. Unfortunately, we can only give you and Request a cutout in this semi-final of 21.33. 21.33 for Andrew Turvey and Request. Mick Otten, your centre stage, competitor number 53, riding Mambala Barracuda. Peter Bolton, please stand by. Number 54 on Reflex. Likewise, number 55, Darren Brislane and Roy.
Probably let him in, fellas, will we?
While we're sorting a few cattle out, just a nice reminder there for competitors and their families. Today, you are welcome to watch the events from the Foresight Competitors Grandstand over here to the right of the box and the arena. You're welcome to perch up there. We don't require tickets, so that's where all the action will be from. For now, though, the action is centre stage. Competitor number 53, Mick Otten, riding Mambula Barracuda. Mick will be followed by 54, Peter Bolton's Reflex. Stand by 55, Darren Brislane and Boy. Go through to 94 competitors in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. The final will be determined, a draw will be done, and it'll be all action centre stage in this beautiful facility here at Willinga Park.
Last competitor, competitor number 53, unfortunately goes out with a no score, Mick Otten. When the camp's clear, we will require competitor number 54, Peter Bolton with Reflex, 55, Darren Brislane with Boy be at the gate.
Calling for a gate, we watched Victorian competitor Peter Bolton. He rides Reflex at number 54. 55 into the yard, please, Darren Brislane on Boy. 56 will be Ben Walsh, Hollywood CD. 57, Ken Bolton on Alamo. 58, Travis Bandy, Binary Memphis. 59, Hugh Miles is back on Destiny's Playgirl. And 60 will be Bevan Reed and Rowdy. Outside though, coming around that second peg, this is competitor number 54. Peter Bolton riding Reflex. Pete knows his way around a course. We'll leave that one up to the judges. Thank you, Peter. A score will come through. Darren Brislane, your number 55 on Boy.
Yeah, 63, mate. Oh, yeah. Hey? Oh, you can't see that side, like.
The last competitor, competitor number 54, Peter Bolton with Reflex, scoring a 22 for the cutout, 62.66 for Horsework, another 4 course points, grand total of 88.66. In on camp now, competitor number 55, Darren Brislane with Boy. Ben Walsh, you be ready, your competitor number 56 with Hollywood CD.
Hey, big thank you to our sponsors this weekend, particularly to the great sponsor in Foresight. When you put your horse on Foresight, you'll understand why it's endorsed by Australia's leading veterinarians and surgeons. Patented for cartilage cell repair and pain relief, Foresight promotes soundness, willingness to work, career longevity and quality of life. What are you waiting for? Buy it today from your vet. Get yourself some Foresight. Hey, and don't forget, today's the last day to enter that competition. Scan the QR codes around the grounds and you can go into the running to win 2 years' supply of Foresight for your horse, your dog, any of those. So make sure you scan those QR codes. They're around the grounds. That is our great sponsor in Foresight. On course proper, we are watching competitor number 55, Darren Brislane, riding Boy. 56 moves into the yard, Ben Walsh, Hollywood CD. Stand by 57, Ken Bolton and Alamo. Working in camp now. This is competitor number 56, Ben Walsh, riding Hollywood CD. Ben made the trip from Tumut, and Hollywood CD is a 16-year-old novice gelding by Bank Full of CDs. Unfortunately for Ben, we can only offer you a cutout score in this semi-final of 20. 20 points for Ben Walsh and Hollywood CD. Ken Bolton moves into the yard, riding Alamo, number 57. Stand by 58, Trav Bandy, Binary Memphis.
Competitor number 55, Darren Brislane with Boy, scoring a 14.33 for cutout. 55 for Horsework, another 3 course points, a grand total of 72.33. Like mentioned, we go straight back down to competitor number 57, Ken Bolton with Alamo. 58, Travis Bandy, you be ready with Memphis.
On course proper for competitor number 57, Ken Bolton, riding Alamo. Alamo is an 11-year-old gelding by Marimar Montague. Ken comes to us from Sale in Victoria, heading around the second peg. That wasn't what we wanted, Kenny. Cutout score of 21.33 for Ken Bolton and Alamo. 21.33 there for Kenny. We'll move our attention to competitor number 58, Travis Bandy, riding Bunari Memphis. 59 will be you, Hugh Miles, Destiny's Playgirl, standby 60, Bevan Reid, Rowdy. 61, Will Durkin, Bunara Debonair. 62, Ben Hall will ride Marnie's North. 63, Pete Comiskey on Roy. And 64 will be Brett Welsh riding Luna. In camp now, though, this is competitor number 58, Travis Bandy, and Trav is riding Bunari Memphis. On course for Tuma competitor, Travis Bandy riding Memphis. All we can give you is a 21.66 today, Trav. 21.66 for Travis Bandy and Memphis. We move our attention to competitor number 59, Hugh Miles riding Destiny's Playgirl. He'll be followed by 60, Bevan Reid. Standby number 61, Will Durkin. Working in camp now. This is competitor number 59, Hugh Miles and Destiny's Playgirl. Playgirl is by Acres Destiny and out of a Pepto mare. She is owned by Peter and Carolyn Doonan, who have made the trip down from Charters Towers, and we welcome them here. On course proper for Huey Miles riding Destiny Playgirl. 60 moves into the yard, please. Bevan Reid and Rowdy. 61, Will Durkin standby on Bunara Debonair. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, straight through the middle. A score will come through for Hugh Miles and Destiny's Playgirl. We move our attention to competitor number 60, Bevan Reid and Rowdy. Standby 61, Will Durkin on Debonair. Likewise 62, Ben Hall and Marnie's North.
Competitor number 59, Hugh Miles with Destiny Playgirl, scoring 21 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework, another 4 course points, 87.33. In camp now, competitor number 60, Bevan Reid with Rowdy. Will Durkin, your number 61 with Debonair.
On course, we watch competitor number 60, Bevan Reid from Delegate in New South Wales. He is riding Rowdy. Rowdy is a 2005 drop by Arundel Cadman. We'll have a score for Rowdy and Bevan Reid, competitor number 60. Will Durkin moves into the yard, 61 riding Bunara Debonair. Standby 62, Ben Hall on Marnie's North. 63 will be Pete Comiskey's Roy, and 64, Brett Welsh on Luna.
Competitor number 60, Bevan Reid with Rowdy, scoring 16.66 for cutout, 55.66 for horsework, another 3 course points, a grand total of 75 points. In on camp now, competitor number 61, Will Durkin with Debonair. Ben Hall, you be ready, you're number 62 with Marnie's North. Competitor number 61, Will Durkin's Debonair, scoring 22 points for cutout. In on camp now, selecting is Ben Hall. He's competitor number 62 with Marnie's North. Number 63, you be at the gate, please. Pete Comiskey with Roy.
Righto, up the front's where it's at for Ben Hall riding Marnie's North. This particular entry is owned by Damien Kerr. Ridden here today by the ever-capable Ben Hall. Marnie's North is by Marnie's Destiny. I reckon Ben might have just shaken his head a little bit there on the top side of that first peg. A cutout score only for you today, Ben, of 21 points. 21 points for Marnie's North and Ben Hall. Pete Comiskey's back in the yard. He rides Roy at number 63. Standby 64, Brett Welsh and Buralite Luna. 65 will be Bill Peden on Verdict. 66, Ben Rossiter's Oprah. 67 will see Sarah Cookson back riding Avenue. 68, Mark Buttsworth on Granny's Rocks. 69, Troy Palmer looks smart in blue. And 70 will be Zach Jackson on Destined for More. For now, though, it is Nebo Man, Pete Comiskey, riding Roy. Outside's the call for Pete Comiskey, riding Roy, competitor number 63. Roy was a rookie stallion last year. He won the Chinchilla Novice and has had other novice placings. And he's an addition to the truck for Pete and Bryony that they're looking forward to promoting in the next few years. This capable jockey is a 2-time winner of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. He knows his way around the course here on this beautiful surface at Willinga Park. And it's as simple as that. Thanks, Pete. We'll have a score through for Pete Comiskey riding Roy. Brett Welsh, you'll move into the yard riding Buralite Luna. Stand by number 65, Bill Peden and Verdict.
Competitor number 63, Pete Comiskey with Roy, scoring a 21.66 for cutout, 62 for horsework, another 4 course points, a grand total, 87.66. In on camp, you're watching number 64, Brett Welsh with Buralite Luna. Competitor number 65, Bill Peden, you'll be ready with Star Wars Verdict.
Outside's the call for Brett Welsh and Buralite Luna. Brett and Mel made the trip down from Bow Desert, and we welcome them here to Willinga Park. 65 moves into the cam. Bill Peden, Star Waltz Verdict. Stand by 66, Ben Rossiter and Oprah. 67, Sarah Cookson, You'll Be Riding Avenue. And 68, Mark Buttsworth, Granny Rocks. For now, though, we do watch competitor number 64. Crossing over, looking for a gate. This is Brett Welsh riding Buralite Luna. And look at that Welshie, straight through the middle for Brett Welsh and Buralite Luna. We'll have a score from our judges in just a moment.
Better number 64, Brett Welsh with Buralite Luna, scoring 18.66 for cutout, 61.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Brett. Grand total of 84 points. In on camp, you're watching competitor number 65, Bill Peden with Star Waltz Verdict. Ben Rossiter, your number 66 with Oprah.
On camp now, we're watching Bill Peden, competitor number 65. Bill comes from Bib and Luke in New South Wales. On this occasion, he rides Star Waltz Verdict, a 7-year-old bay stock horse gelding. Has had great successes in the show ring and starting his Campdraft career. This is Bill Peden riding Star Waltz Verdict, competitor number 65. Ben Rossiter moves into the yard. 66 on Oprah. 67, Sarah Cookson standby on Avenue. 68, Mark Buttsworth, Granny's Rocks. 69 will be Troy Palmer, Look Smart in Blue. 70 will be Zach Jackson, Destined for More. And 71, Stephen Hart and Yavin Smooth Spin. On course though, looking for a gate here is competitor number 65 from Bib and Luke in New South Wales. This is Bill Peden and Star Wars Verdict. I think time might have got Bill on that occasion. We'll have a score for you shortly.
Better number 65, Bill Peden with Star Waltz Verdict, scoring 17.66 for cutout, 52.66 for horsework. Another 3 course points, grand total 73.33. Watching outside now, competitor number 66, Ben Rossiter with Oprah. Sarah Cookson, your number 67 on the camp, please.
And Ben Rossiter's mare is a 9-year-old mare by Conductor. She's only recently started her Campdraft career, winning multiple starts and multiple wins in places. This is Ben Rossiter. Made the trip from Tamworth, and he rides Oprah, and he rode her straight through the middle of that gate. A score will come through for Ben Rossiter and Oprah from our judges, Mr. Luke Whitehead, Mr. Peter Grills, and Mr. David Grills. So grateful to our judges this weekend. They've made the event flow smoothly and ensured that our competitors have been looked after. Big thanks to our judges who make this all possible. Sarah Cookson moves into the yard. She is competitor number 67 and rides Avenue.
Competitor number 66, Ben Rossiter with Oprah, scoring a 20 for cutout, 62 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Ben. Grand total of 86 points. In on camp now, competitor number 67, Sarah Cookson with Avenue. Next up will be number 68, Mark Buttsworth with Granny's Rocks. competitor number 67, Sarah Cookson with Avenue, scoring a 19.66 for cutout. Competitor number 68, Mark Buttsworth, on the camp with Granny's Rocks. Followed, waiting at the gate, will be competitor number 69, Troy Palmer with Looks Smart in Blue. Competitor number 68, Mark Buttsworth with Granny's Rock, scoring a 22 for the cutout. In on camp now, competitor number 69, Troy Palmer with a horse called Looks Smart in Blue. Number 70, you be at the gate, Zach Jackson with Destined for More.
And Look Smart in Blue is owned by Doug Jemison. I think Doug and Lib would be watching on the live stream there back in Tamworth. Look Smart in Blue is a 7-year-old mare by I'm a Smooth Blue Cat. She was purchased out of the Nutrient sale this year and has been consistently making finals. Ever-capable jockey in her saddle, Troy Palmer, makes a trip down from Coolah. He's part of the Willinga Park extended team here. We wish them luck. Look Smart in Blue and Troy Palmer, competitor number 69. Zach Jackson, stand by. You're next in on Destined for More. 71 will be Stephen Hart, Yaven Smooth Spin. 72, Peter Stevenson's Wallaroo Caddy. 73, Wyatt Young, you're back on Cedar Vale Twist. And 74, Pat Hardwick on Wicked. Unfortunately though, Troy, it's a 16 for cutout there for Troy Palmer and Look Smart in Blue. Zach Jackson we watch, competitor number 60, riding Destined for More. This lovely mare is out of that great mare in Annie's Acres. She's an open Campdraft mare and is on the course proper now for Zach Jackson. Number 70. 71 moves into the yard, Stephen Hart riding Yaven Smooth Spin. Stand by 72, Peter Stevenson and Wallaroo Caddy. Unfortunately, though, Zach, we've got a 17.33 for cutout, 17.33 for Zach Jackson and Destined for More. We turn our attention to competitor number 71, Stephen Hart riding Yaven Smooth Spin. Stand by 72, Peter Stevenson, Wallaroo Caddy. Stephen Hart is the competitor that you watch, number 71, and he rides Yaven Smooth Spin. This is a 6-year-old novice mare. Outside's the call for Gugong competitor, Stephen Hart. Trying to put one together here in this semi-final of the Gold Buckle. Just a cutout today though, Stephen. 21.33 for Stephen Hart and Yaven Smooth Spin. 21.33 for Stephen Hart there. 72 moves into the yard, Peter Stevenson. He rides Wallaroo Caddy. 73, stand by, Wyatt Young, Cedar Vale Twist. 74 will be Pat Hardwick on Wicked Duck. 75, Jackson Ball, Yaven Rainman. 76, Huey Miles will be back on Fantasy. 77, Matt Holt and Nonda Last Frontier, and 78 Andrew Turvey and Knipes Destiny's Playgirl. Selecting his beast, competitor number 72, Peter Stevenson. Pete and his lovely wife Anna made the trip down from Tamworth. This mare, Caddy, is an open mare and owned by Clive and Lorraine Cottrell. She's by Acres Little Craftsman. Acres Little Craftsman is a horse that Pete Stevenson won the Paradise Lagoon Stallion Draft up there one year. So we wish Pete Stevenson and Wallaroo Caddy all the best here in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Unfortunately though, Pete, it's a 15.33 for cutout. 15.33 is all we can offer you this morning, Pete. We'll move our attention though to competitor number 73, Wyatt Young. Wyatt is riding Cedar Vale Twist. Stand by 74, Pat Hardwick and Wicked Duck. In camp we watch competitor number 73, Wyatt Young. Good Tamworth competitor. This particular ride is a mare called Cedar Vale Twist. She's homebred. 3 opens under her belt, and she was also second in the Canning Downs there. Wyatt's gratefully supported this weekend by his lovely mum Janelle. She'd be here watching on with a keen eye as Wyatt Young does his best, but it's not to be. Wyatt, a cutout score, lovely cutout of 22 to get things started too. 22 points is all I can give you, Whitey, on Cedar Vale Twist. We move our attention to competitor number 74, Pat Hardwick. Pat will ride Wicked Duck, followed by 75 Jackson Ball, Yaven Rainman. Stand by 76, Hugh Miles and Fantasy. On course proper, this is competitor number 74, Pat Hardwick riding Wicked Duck. Jackson Ball moves into the yard on Yaven Rainman. Stand by 76, Hugh Miles Fantasy. 77 will be Matt Holtz, Nonda Last Frontier. Outside though, this is competitor number 74, Patrick Hardwick riding Wicked Duck. I'll leave that one up to our good judges. Jackson Ball will shift our attention to you, competitor number 75.
Walk through 'em, mate, when you're ready.
Last competitor, competitor number 74, Pat Hardwick with Wicked Duck, scoring a 15.66 for camp score. In on camp now, number 75, Jackson Ball with the Avon Rain Man. 76, Hugh Miles, you be ready with a Fantasy.
Cattle out, cattle in, Jackson Ball we watch. Competitor made the trip from Roma. On this occasion, Jackson is riding Yaven Rain Man, an entry owned by Brodie Hurley. He is sired by that Impact sire in Dual Ray, and out of the wonderful mare that John Corbett owns called One More Romance. Yaven Rainman is a 9-year-old gelding. And in the saddle is Jackson Ball. Competitor number 75, Hugh Miles, is standing by. He's next in.
The last competitor, competitor number 75, Jackson Ball with the Yaven Rainman, scoring a 21.33 for cutout. In on camp now, competitor number 76, Hugh Miles with Fantasy. 77, Matt Holtz, you be ready with Nonda Last Frontier.
Taking a look over his cattle here now is competitor number 76, Hugh Miles. He rides Fantasy. Fantasy is an Acres Destiny mare out of a Freckle Oak mare and is owned by Joel and Belinda Fleming. She's a novice camp drafter. Outside for Hugh Miles and Fantasy. 77, Matt Holtz moves into the yard, riding Nonda Last Frontier. Standby 78, Andrew Turvey on Knipes, Destiny's Playgirl. Likewise 7-9, Zane Haberman, Mississippi Swift. Outside, though, we are watching competitor number 76. This is Hugh Miles, and he rides Joel and Belinda Fleming's entry, Fantasy. And he rides us straight through the gate. A score will come through there for you, Huey. A score will come through for Hugh Miles and Fantasy.
Competitor number 76, Hugh Miles with Fantasy, scoring a 15.66 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Huey. Grand total 82 points. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 77, Matt Holtz with Anonda Last Frontier. Andrew Turvey, you be ready. Your competitor number 78 with Knipes, Destiny's Playgirl.
And Last Frontier is a 10-year-old open stallion owned by Graham and Jody Rosinski. He is by Hazelwood Conman and out of a Nonda Swag mare. Matt Holtz comes to us from Henty. A very highly decorated competitor. Heading around that second peg, looking to secure themselves a spot in the final this afternoon. Crosses over and looks for a gate. This is Matt Holtz riding Nonda Last Frontier. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. We've seen some wonderful camp drafting here this morning in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. Score will come through for you, Matt. Andrew Turvey, we turn our attention to you, competitor number 78, riding Knipes, Destiny's Playgirl.
Last competitor, competitor number 77, Matt Holtz with Nonda Last Frontier, scored 22.33 for cutout, 63.33 for horsework, another 4 to go with it. Grand total of 89.66 points. In on camp now, competitor number 78, Andrew Turvey, with a horse called Knipes, Destiny's Playgirl.
And this particular entry is owned by the team here at Willinga Park. She's a 5-year-old mare by the great One More Playboy. She's a novice mare. I got the chance to watch Andrew win a Campdraft on this lovely mare, Destiny's Playgirl, up there in the red dirt at Ninder Gully. This is Andrew Turvey. Made the trip down from Juanda Plains at Wandoan. He crosses over and looking for a second peg on Knipes Destiny's Playgirl. This is Andrew Turvey. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? That particular mare is owned by Willinga Park. That is Andrew Turvey and Knipes Destiny's Playgirl. We will have a score shortly through for you, Andy. Zane Haberman moves into the yard. Competitor number 79, riding Mississippi Swift. Standby number 80, Jim Lawton, Roomba. Megan McIntosh, you'll ride at 81 on Bougainvillea Finesse. 82, Bryony Puttycombe will be here on Destiny of Her Own. 83, Toby Rofe, Millie. 84, Ben Hall, Sherrow's Traditional Acres. And 85 will be Josh Barnett and Ophir Whisper.
Competitor number 78, Andrew Turvey with Knipes Destiny's Playgirl, scoring a 22 for cutout, 62 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Andrew. Grand total, 88 points. In on camp now, competitor number 79, Zane Aberman with Mississippi Swift. Number 80, be ready, Jim Lawton with Rumba. Just a quick announcement there at the conclusion of this. There's approximately 15 competitors left in this. At the end of this, we will rake the arena. We will do the semi-final presentation, and then we'll do the final draw. So that's what's going to happen at the end of this particular round. The semi-final of this Willinga Park Gold Buckle.
Outside and on course for Zane Haberman, number 79, riding Mississippi Swift. Mississippi Swift is a 12-year-old mare by the great sire in Acres Destiny. She's won 7 opens, 3 novices and a maiden. Looking for a second peg here. This is Springshaw competitor Zane Haberman and Mississippi Swift. Jim Lawton moves into the yard. Competitor number 80 on Roomba. Standby 81, Megan McIntosh, Bougainvillea Finesse. Likewise 82, Bryony Puttycombe on Destiny of Her Own. Nicely done there, Habbo. Score will come through for Zane Haberman and Mississippi Swift, competitor number 79.
Competitor number 79, Zane Haberman with Mississippi Swift, scoring a 16.33 for the cutout, 61.66 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 82 points. 82 there for Zane Haberman. In camp now, you're watching competitor number 80, Jim Lawton with Rumba. Megan McIntosh, you are competitor number 81 with Bougainvillea Finesse.
Jim Lawton comes to us from Gundagai and rides a 15-year-old gelding by Knight's Top That. Unfortunately though, Jim, we can only offer you a cutout score of 18.33 in this semi-final. 18.33 there for Jim Lawton and Roomba. 81, Megan McIntosh. She steps into the yard riding Bougainvillea Finesse. Bryony Puttycombe standby 82 on Destiny of Her Own. Warra Lady we watch, Megan McIntosh, competitor number 81. I mentioned it before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Megan ran 3rd last night in that great dash for cash in the ladies. Huge effort and a beautiful round that she put up. On this occasion, though, she rides Bougainvillea Finesse. This mare is by Mr. Hyde. It's owned by Megan. 82 moves into the yard, Bryony Puttycombe, Destiny of Her Own. Standby 83, Toby Rofe. Likewise 84, Ben Hall. And that's how it's done in the sun here at the fantastic Willinga Park. We'll have a score coming through for Megan McIntosh and Bougainvillea Finesse. Bryony Puddicombe, it's action stations for you, riding Destiny of Her Own. 83 standby, Toby Rove. Likewise 84, Ben Hall, Sherrow's Traditional Acres, and 85, Josh Barnett and Ophir Whisper.
Last competitor number 81, Megan McIntosh with Bougainvillea Finesse, scoring 20.66 for the cutout, 58 for the horsework, another 4 course points there, Megan. Grand total 82.66. In on camp now, we have Bryony Puddicombe with A Destiny of Her Own. Waiting at the gate, be competitor number 83, Toby Roth with Millie.
And this is one of the ever-capable ladies who was involved in that runoff last night. Bryony Puddicombe ran off the ladies with the eventual winner in Vicky Hiscock, but absolute credit to Bryony. On this occasion, she rides Destiny of Her Own, a 9-year-old Acres Destiny mare. She is a novice mare, and Bryony and her are building a great relationship together. Heading around the second peg, crossing over, looking for a gate in this semi-final. This is Bryony Puddicombe riding Destiny of Her Own. Made the trip down from Nebo. And that's why, because they like to put cattle straight between the gate pegs. Score will come through for you there, Bryony. Bryony Puddicombe and Destiny of Her Own. Toby Rove moves into the yard. He rides Millie at number 83. 84, Ben Hall, standby on Sherrow's Traditional Acres. Likewise, 85, Josh Barnett. And 86, we'll see you again, Brett Welsh.
Competitor number 82, Bryony Puddicombe with A Destiny of Her Own, scoring a 21 for the cutout, 61.33 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Bryony. Grand total 86.33. In on camp now, competitor number 83, Toby Roth with Millie. Ben Hall, you be ready at competitor number 84 with Sherrow's Traditional Acres.
And around the first peg for Toby Rove, Sutton Forest competitor riding Millie. Millie is a 2000 drop novice mare. She's been lightly drafted and is a mare that Toby really enjoys. This is Toby Rove, competitor number 83 riding Millie. Ben Hall moves into the yard. He will ride Sherrow's Traditional Acres. Nicely done there, Toby. Score will come through there for Toby Rove and Millie. Ben Hall, we watch competitor number 84. He rides Andrew Sheridan's entry, Sherrow's Traditional Acres. This is an Acres Destiny stallion out of a Peachy Stud Tradition mare. He's an open horse, and he actually won that 2022 Dalgety shootout there up at the Nutrien Sale this year. A great event that shows an aggregate over 3 years. Shows the consistency of Sherrow's Traditional Acres and the ever-capable Ben Hall in the saddle. Ben's your current 2021 season winner for the Open Rider of the Year for the ACA. He's won all the big titles, but he'd love a Willinga Park gold buckle, and he has put one through the middle, so we'll get a score for Ben Hall and Sherrow's Traditional Acres here shortly. Josh Barnett, we turn our attention to you. Competitor number 85, riding Ophir Whisper. 86, standby, Brett Welsh, All Stars, Halo.
Competitor number 83, Toby Rolfe with Millie, scoring a 15 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points there, Toby. Grand total 81.33. Ben Hall's nomination there in competitor number 84 with Sherrow's Traditional Acres, scoring 21.66 for cutout, 63 for horsework, another 4 course points there, grand total 88.66. In on camp now we should have competitor number 85. Sorry, out on course, competitor number 85, Josh Barnett with Oprah Whisper. In on camp 86, Brett Welsh with All Stars Halo. Last competitor, competitor number 85, Josh Barnett with Open Whisper, scoring at 20.66 for cutout, 61 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 85.66. Watching inside now, competitor number 86, Brett Welsh with All Stars Halo. Number 87, Ben McNaughton, you're next in. With Hazelwood Courtney. 88, Warwick Lawrence, you be ready with Hunter View Royal Chick. Unfortunately, that will be a camp score only there for Mr. Welsh of 20.33. Moving straight on, competitor number 87, Ben McNaughton with Hazelwood Courtney in on camp.
Stepping into his steer now, this is competitor number 87, Ben McNaughton, riding Hazelwood Courtney. Ben made the trip down from Walker. Hazelwood Courtney is an 8-year-old novice mare by Conman, and out of that great mare of Terry and Christine Halls, called by the name of Hazelwood Lottie. On course proper for Ben McNaughton. Ben himself has won a grandfather clock. He won the great classic there at Nutrien. Highly decorated camp draft. Made the trip down with his fiancée Laura. They love Willinga Park and have enjoyed great success here, and we wish them well today. This is Ben McNaughton. He rides Hazelwood Courtney, crossing over looking for a gate in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. I don't think that's how you wanted that one to go, Naughty, but we'll get a cutout score for you, Ben, of 15. 15 points for Ben McNaughton and Hazelwood Courtney. Warwick Lawrence, we'll shift our attention to you riding Hunter View Royal Chick. 89 will be Dan Lindley, Seligman's pen pal. Stand by, number 90, Lucas Roberts and Seco. Working in camp now, this is competitor number 88, Warwick Lawrence and Hunter View Royal Chick. Hunter View Royal Chick is an 8-year-old stock horse mare by he's a Kadichi Chick. She was a winner of open drafts. The highlight was definitely running second in the Landmark Classic. Outside, we watch competitor number 88, Warwick Lawrence. Made the trip down from Rosebrook, and we're very grateful he brought his talented wife with him, Fiona. She's been helping us up here in the secretary's box across the last few days. Warwick will leave that one up to the judges. Warwick Lawrence and Hunter View Royal Chick. 89, Dan Lindley, you're next up, riding Seligman's pen pal. Stand by 90, Lucas Roberts and Seco. 91 will be Richard Hansen, riding Docs Charlie. 92, David Murphy, Shalani Tempo. 93 will be Mark Buttsworth, riding Stylish Abilene. And 94, Stevie Comiskey will round things out, riding that great horse, Gigolo.
Competitor number 88, Warwick Lawrence with Hunter View Royal Chick, scoring 16 for cutout, 57.33 for horsework. Another 3 course points there, my friend. Give you a grand total of 76.33. In on camp now, competitor number 89, Dan Lindley with horse called Seligman's Pen Pal. Number 90 will be Lucas Roberts with Seiko. Be at the gate.
The underguy competitor we watch, Dan Lindley, riding Seligman's Pen Pal. Pen Pal is a 9-year-old gelding by Seligman Spin out of Polo Conchita. Placed in opens, novices, juniors and juveniles. A horse for the whole family. This is Dan Lindley riding Seligman's Pen Pal. Luke Roberts, stand by. You're next in. Number 90 on Seco. Likewise 91. Richard Hansen. Chesalon, Docs Charlie.
Our last competitor, competitor number 89, Dan Lindley with a Seligman's Pen Pal, scoring 15 points. Unfortunately, 15 only there for Dan Lindley. In on camp now, competitor number 90, Lucas Roberts with a horse called Seiko. Number 91, Richard Hansen. You be ready, please, with Docs Charlie.
Outside's the call for competitor number 90, Lucas Roberts riding Seiko. 91, you move into camp, please, Richard Hansen on Docs Charlie. Stand by 92, David Murphy, Shalani Tempo. Only got a handful of competitors left in this semi-final of the Willinga Park Gold Buckle. We will dress the arena and present those place getters in this semi-final. For now, though, trying to secure a spot in that lineup is Lucas Roberts, competitor number 90, riding Seiko.
Competitor number 90, Lucas Roberts with Seiko, scoring at 20 points for cutout. You're currently watching outside. Competitor number 91, Richard Hansen with Docs Charlie. 92 on the camp, please, David Murphy with Shalani Tempo. Competitor number 91, Richard Hansen with Docs Charlie, scoring a 20 points for cutout. 20 points there. In on camp now we have number 92, David Murphy with Shalani Tempo. Waiting at the gate, please. Number 93 will be Mark Buttsworth with Stylish Abilene. And final competitor will be number 94, Steve Comiskey with Gigolo.
David Murphy we watch. David comes from Talbot in Victoria and rides Shalani Tempo. Tempo has won and placed many times and is ridden here on behalf of Janita Edwards, his owner. This is David Murphy, competitor number 92, riding Shalani Tempo.
The last competitor, competitor number 92, David Murphy with Shalani Tempo, scoring a 15 points for the cutout. 15 points there for David Murphy's Shalani's Tempo. In on camp, competitor number 93, Mark Buttsworth, Stylish Abilene. Waiting at the gate, competitor number 94, our final competitor in this semi-final for the Willingla Park. Gold buckle will be Gigolo and Steve Comiskey. And at the conclusion of this, we will rake the arena, guys. We will rake the arena, and then we will do the semi-final presentation, followed by the grand final draw. So, guys, that's what the state of play will be. We will do raking the arena, semi-final presentation, and then the draw.
Mark Buttsworth, we watch, Kingaroy competitor, riding Stylish Abilene. We congratulate Mark again on that win last night in that dash for cash in the cutout. Riding one of his other mounts. On this occasion, though, he rides Stylish Abilene. Outside's the call. Our final competitor will step into the camp. Competitor number 94, Steve Comiskey, riding Gigolo. 16 only there for you, Mark. 16 points for Mark Buttsworth and Stylish Abilene. Steve Comiskey is the competitor who will finalise this gold buckle semi-final. Competitor number 94 made the trip down from Capella. On this occasion, he rides the lovely Lindsay Gelding in Gigolo. Gigolo is 21 years old and has won 14 Opens, including being involved in some of the bigger events of the years. Lovely old gelding, Gigolo and Steve Comiskey. We wish them well here in the semi-final of the Willingla Park Gold Buckle.
At this stage, anybody that scored an 88.66 and better in the semi-final, we will require you for the presentation. That will include Will Durkin, Durkin's Jewel, Troy Palmer with Who's Divine, Matt Holtz with Nonda Last Frontier, Sarah Cookson and Paradise, Steve Comiskey's Katie, Matt Holtz, Paris Reams, Hugh Miles, Chick Acres, Andrew Sheridan's Shero's Best, Pete Comiskey's Just Jim, Zach Jackson's Peelvale Playgirl, White Young, Liberty Silver Rain, Peter Bolton, Reflex, and Ben Hall with Shero's Traditional Acres. We will require those horses and competitors for the presentation of the semi-final. Anybody with an 88.66 and better, they're required here shortly for a presentation. We're just going to rake that arena. That score there for that last competitor, competitor number 94, Steve Comiskey with Gigolo, scoring a 21 points for cutout, 62.66 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total 87.66. So just a quick reminder, we're going to rake that arena, so off the arena just for the moment. We're going to rake that arena and then we are going to do a semi-final presentation. So anybody that got an 88.66 or better, can you please come back down to the marshalling area? It will be required. Will Durkin with Durkin's Jewel, Troy Palmer with Who's Divine, Matt Holtz with Nonda Last Frontier, Sarah Cookson Paradise, Steve Comiskey and Katie, Matt Holtz and Paris Reams, Hugh Miles with Chick Acres, Andrew Sheridan and Shero's Best, Pete Comiskey with Just Jim, Zach Jackson with Peelvale Playgirl, White Young with Liberty Silver Rain, and Peter Bolton with Reflex, and Ben Hall with Shero's Traditional Acres. They're all required. Back down here for the presentation shortly of the semi-final.
Introducing Mastery of the Horse, an all-new equine event on the Gold Coast, under the iconic red roof of Australian Outback Spectacular, from the 17th to the 19th of June. Join Mark Buttsworth, Ian Francis, Dan Steers, Rob Leach and Cody Rawson-Harris as they unite to share their expertise and experience in daily demonstrations. Don't miss out. Tickets on sale now.
G'day, I'm Josh Gibson, and after years of playing elite sport, I understand more than most the value of protecting my joints. I treat my dogs like I treat my body. Unfortunately, they can't tell me when they're in pain. That's why I use the scientifically proven natural product, Foresight Epitalis Fort. It just takes the guesswork out. I use the product recommended by vets across Australia to protect my dog's joints. Foresight Epitalis Fort.
Our days are fun-filled and action-packed. Non-stop running, jumping, chasing, shaking. A new adventure around every corner. Time spent hanging out with friends, and for some of us, a bit of work along the way. So, where do we get the energy? Copper, the nutritionally balanced diet that keeps us wagging from one day to the next.
Pack of Busch Light, a can of Coke, baby, that's all we need. Take it past the candlelight, start a big bonfire out where the cops won't see.
And do the lasso, pull me in real close, put your hands on your hips and dance real slow. Do the lasso, spin them around, do the two-step and dip them on down, up and down like a seesaw.
Shepherd Electrical. Along with completing the design and construct of a complex hybrid power system for the new Willinga Park equestrian facility, Shepherd Electrical completed all sub-mains installation and HV reticulation, general power, switchboards, internal and architectural lighting, street and emergency lighting, structured cabling and fibre, and security and access control. SCADA was installed site-wide in 13 locations to monitor and report alarms and faults on equipment such as pumps, tank sensors, electrical equipment, pool controls and motors. DALI and C-Bus lighting control are accessible via touchscreen controls, while visitors are able to access plug-in truck and caravan power.
Our days are fun-filled and action-packed. non-stop running. And for some of us, a bit of work along the way. So, where do we get the energy? Copper, the nutritionally balanced diet that keeps us wagging from one day to the next.
Shepherd Electrical. The microgrid developed for Willinga Park is a one-of-a-kind, fully automated system that can be monitored remotely to view solar production, battery and generator status.
These equestrian moments proudly brought to you by Barristock.
Introducing Mastery of the Horse, an all-new equine event on the Gold Coast, under the iconic red roof of Australian Outback Spectacular, from the 17th to the 19th of June. Join Mark Buttsworth, Ian Francis, Dan Steers, Rob Leach and Cody Rawson-Harris as they unite to share their expertise and experience in daily demonstrations. Don't miss out. Tickets on sale now.
G'day, I'm Josh Gibson, and after years of playing elite sport, I understand more than most the value of protecting my joints. I treat my dogs like I treat my body. Unfortunately, they can't tell me when they're in pain. That's why I use the scientifically proven natural product, Foresight Epitalis Fort. It just takes the guesswork out. I use the product recommended by vets across Australia to protect my dog's joints. Foresight Epitalis Fort.
Our days are fun-filled and action-packed. Non-stop running, jumping, chasing, shaking. A new adventure around every corner. Time spent hanging out with friends, and for some of us, a bit of work along the way. So, where do we get the energy? Copper, the nutritionally balanced diet that keeps us wagging from one day to the next.
Pack of Bush Light, a can of Coke, baby, that's all we need. Take it past the candlelight, start a big bonfire out where the cops won't see.
And do the lasso, pull me real close, put your hands on your hips and dance real slow. Do the lasso, spin them around, do the two-step and dip them on down, up and down like a seesaw.
Shepherd Electrical. Along with completing the design and construct of a complex hybrid power system for the new Willinga Park equestrian facility, Shepherd Electrical completed all sub-mains installation and HV reticulation, general power, switchboards, internal and architectural lighting, street and emergency lighting, structured cabling and fibre, and security and access control. SCADA was installed site-wide in 13 locations to monitor and report alarms and faults on equipment such as pumps, tank sensors, electrical equipment, pool controls and motors. DALI and C-Bus lighting control are accessible via touchscreen controls, while visitors are able to access plug-in truck and caravan power.
in the semi-final goes to Will Durkin and Durkin's Jewel. And to do the presentation is the General Manager of Willinga Park, Mr. Chad Percival. And the winner of the semi-final round, Will Durkin with Durkin's Jewel. Dividing second and third, Troy Palmer, Who's Divine, and Matt Holtz on Nonda's Last Frontier on 89.66. And once again, to do the presentation of the semi-final, Chad Percival, the General Manager here of this magnificent complex, Willinga Park. Dividing fourth and fifth on 89.33, Sarah Cookson's Paradise, Steve Kaminsky with Katie. Dividing sixth and seventh on a score of 89 points, Matt Holtz, Paris Reams, and Hugh Miles on Chick Acres. And many thanks to Mr. Chad Percival, the General Manager here at Willinga Park, for making himself available here with the pressure right on as we build up to the big final. And there's plenty of things going on in the background. So many thanks to you, Chad. Dividing 8th, 9th and 10th on a score of 88.66, Andrew Sheridan on Sheros Bess, Pete Kaminsky's Just Jim, Zach Jackson, Peel Vale Playgirl, White Young, Liberty Silver Rain, Peter Bolton, Reflex, and Ben Hall on Sheros Traditional Acres. And those competitors going into the final of the Gold Buckle for 2022, those competitors have scored 85.33 and better. There is 28 competitors in all for the big one for 2022. So there they are, the winner and place getters of the semi-final of the Gold Buckle for 2022. On a score of 90 points, Will Durkin's Jewel. Dividing second and third on 89.6, Troy Palmer's Who's Divine and Matt Holtz, Nonda's Last Frontier. Dividing fourth and fifth on 89.33, Sarah Cookson's Paradise, Steve Kaminsky's Katie. Dividing sixth and seventh on a score of 89, Matt Holtz, Paris Reams, and Hugh Miles, Chick Acres. And dividing 8th, 9th and 10th, Andrew Sheridan's Sheros Bess, Pete Kaminsky's Just Jim, Zach Jackson, Peel Vale Playgirl, White Young, Liberty Silver Rain, Peter Bolton's Reflex, and Ben Hall, Sheros Traditional Acres. And those competitors going into the final are those competitors who scored 85.33 and better. There will be 28 competitors going for the gold buckle.
Introducing Mastery of the Horse, an all-new equine event on the Gold Coast, under the iconic red roof of Australian Outback Spectacular, from the 17th to the 19th of June. Join Mark Buttsworth, Ian Francis, Dan Steers, Rob Leach and Cody Rawson-Harris as they unite to share their expertise and experience in daily demonstrations. Don't miss out. Tickets on sale now.
G'day, I'm Josh Gibson, and after years of playing elite sport, I understand more than most the value of protecting my joints. I treat my dogs like I treat my body. Unfortunately, they can't tell me when they're in pain. That's why I use the scientifically proven natural product, Foresight Epitalis Fort. It just takes the guesswork out. I use the product recommended by vets across Australia to protect my dog's joints. Foresight Epitalis Fort.
Our days are fun-filled and action-packed. Non-stop running, jumping, chasing, shaking. A new adventure around every corner. Time spent hanging out with friends, and for some of us, a bit of work along the way. So, where do we get the energy? Cobber, the nutritionally balanced diet that keeps us wagging from one day to the next.
Pack of Bush Light, a can of Coke, baby, that's all we need. Take it past the county line, start a big bonfire out where the cops won't see.
And do the lasso, pull me real close, put your hands on your hips and dance.
So just another reminder there, competitors, those who scored 85.33, 85.33 and better, and on that list that I just read out, please make your way to the marshalling yard area near the cattle camp to do your own draw for the final. So here we go for the draw for the final of the Gold Buckle for 2022. And we're going from the highest scores and work our way down. And the first competitor to make the draw will be Will Durkin with Durkin's Jewel. Goes into the final on 90 points. So we're going to do the draw out here in the main arena. And what a beautiful arena it is. So here we go. Those who scored 85.33. Those who scored 85.33 and better. 28 competitors in all move into the final of the 2022 Gold Buckle here at Willinga Park. Here we go now with Will Durkin, goes into the final on a score of 90 points. In goes the hand of Will Durkin. Durkin's Jewel. Draws a number 12. Now Matt Holtz on Nonda Last Frontier on 89.66. And draws number 26 for the final. Troy Palmer now with Who's Divine. Number 18 for Troy Palmer and Who's Divine. Sarah Cookson now with Paradise. And Sarah uses the good hand, the left hand, to go in. And has drawn number 3. Steve Kaminsky now with Katie. Steve Kaminsky with Katie comes up with number 10. Number 10 for Katie and Steve Kaminsky. Hugh Miles now with Chick Acres. Hugh Miles with Chick Acres, number 22. Matt Holtz now with Paris Reams. Number 11 for Matt Holtz and Paris Reams. Andrew Sheridan with Sheros Bess. Andrew Sheridan with Sheros Bess is number 9. Ben Hall. Sheros Traditional Acres. You should be writing these numbers down, ladies and gentlemen. It could be the lotto numbers. Ben Hall, Sheros Traditional Acres, number 7. Pete Kaminsky with Just Jim. Pete Kaminsky and Just Jim, number 25. Peter Bolton. Peter Bolton with Reflex. Number 24 for Reflex and Peter Bolton. White Young with Liberty Silver Rain. Wyatt Young with Liberty Silver Rain, and number 8. Zach Jackson. Peel Vale Playgirl. Zach Jackson and Peel Vale Playgirl. And number 2, Mark Buttsworth, Yugelbar Agile Playgirl. Mark Buttsworth. Mark Buttsworth, Yugelbar Agile Playgirl. Number 17, Robert Daly. Robert Daly with Mrs. Robinson. Number 27 for Robert Daly and Mrs. Robinson, Zane Haberman and Kat Swift. Zane Haberman and Kat Swift come up with number 21. 21, Andrew Turvey, Knights Destiny's Playgirl. So Andrew Turvey, Knights Destiny's Playgirl, number 19. Ben Hall with El Torio. Number 23 for Ben Hall and El Torio, Pete Kaminsky with Roy. Number 15 for Pete Kaminsky and Roy. Steve Kaminsky now with Gigolo. Steve Kaminsky and Gigolo. Number 4. Hugh Miles, Destiny's Playgirl. Hugh Miles and Destiny's Playgirl, and number 6, Scott Bandy. Scott Bandy and Maranjai Ellis Destiny, number 5. Bryony Puddicombe, Destiny of Her Own. So Bryony, Destiny of Her Own, number 13. Matt Beaches with Rain. 28 competitors go in the final of the Gold Buckle for 2022. Matt Beaches and Rain, number 14. Ben Rossiter with Opera. Ben Rossiter with Opera, number 28. Josh Barnett with Ophir Whisper. So Josh Barnett with Ophir Whisper. Number 20, Pat Hardwick. Pat Hardwick with Cool Runnings. Has drawn number 1 for Pat Hardwick and Cool Runnings, number 1. And Toby Rolfe with Holly. Toby Rolfe with Holly. Number 16 for Toby Rolfe with Holly. Many thanks, competitors. You've done your own draws, and no doubt it's going to be a magnificent final for the gold buckle in 2022 here at this picturesque Wallinga Park complex, and we wish you all the very, very best of luck to each and every one of you. Won't be too long now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with you for the official opening.
Introducing Mastery of the Horse, an all-new equine event on the Gold Coast under the iconic red roof of Australian Outback Spectacular from the 17th to the 19th of June. Join Mark Buttsworth, Ian Francis, Dan Steers, Rob Leach and Cody Rawson-Harris as they unite to share their expertise and experience in daily demonstrations. Don't miss out. Tickets on sale now.
G'day, I'm Josh Gibson, and after years of playing elite sport, I understand more than most the value of protecting my joints. I treat my dogs like I treat my body. Unfortunately, they can't tell me when they're in pain. That's why I use the scientifically proven natural product, Foresight Epitalis Fort. It just takes the guesswork out. I use the product recommended by vets across Australia to protect my dog's joints. Foresight Epitalis Fort.
Our days are fun-filled and action-packed. Non-stop running, jumping, chasing, shaking. A new adventure around every corner. Time spent hanging out with friends, and for some of us, a bit of work along the way. So, where do we get the energy? Cobber, the nutritionally balanced diet that keeps us wagging from one day to the next.
Pack of Bush Light, a can of Coke, baby, that's all we need. Take it past the candlelight, start a big bonfire out where the cops won't see.
And do the lasso, pull me in real close, put your hands on your hips and dance real slow. Do the lasso, spin them around, do the two-step and dip them on down, up and down like a seesaw.
Shepherd Electrical. Along with completing the design and construct of a complex hybrid power system for the new Wallinga Park equestrian facility, Shepherd Electrical completed all submains installation and HV reticulation, general power, switchboards, internal and architectural lighting, street and emergency lighting, structured cabling and fibre, and security and access control. SCADA was installed site-wide in 13 locations to monitor and report alarms and faults on equipment such as pumps, tank sensors, electrical equipment, pool controls and motors. Dali and C-Bus lighting control are accessible via touchscreen controls, while visitors are able to access plug-in truck and caravan power.
Introducing Mastery of the Horse, an all-new equine event on the Gold Coast, under the iconic red roof of Australian Outback Spectacular, from the 17th to the 19th of June. Join Mark Buttsworth, Ian Francis, Dan Steers, Rob Leach and Cody Rawson-Harris as they unite to share their expertise and experience in daily demonstrations. Don't miss out. Tickets on sale now.
Shepherd Electrical. The microgrid developed for Willinga Park is a one-of-a-kind, fully automated system that can be monitored remotely to view solar production, battery and generator status.
These equestrian moments proudly brought to you by Barristock.
12-pack of Busch Light, a can of Coke, baby, that's all we need. Take it past the county line, start a big bonfire out where the cops won't see.
And do the lasso, pull me in real close, put your hands on